Are going live. Guys, we are back. Welcome to ATX Homegirls. Y'all remember us? Y'all
Cheers,
remember
y'all.
us. We have not done this in maybe about a year. Melissa, it's been a year since we last did this. So,
It was late October. It
yeah.
was after Halloween.
Exactly. So we are so excited to be back. ATX Homegirls is back in the game and we're doing it a little bit different. So we used to have it all real estate related, but now we're kind of doing it with a little bit of twist. And with this episode here, it's all about all Austin old school. So,
And new school. And
yes.
new school.
Yes. So we're excited for you guys to join us. We would love for you guys to also chime in on the conversation and talk about all things old Austin. We're going to bring that nostalgia back. And we do have a special guest. We'll get to him in just a minute. Melissa, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Okay, remember me, guys. I'm the one that uses my hands a lot. I fidget and I drink a lot of coffee while on camera. I break all the YouTube live rules, so just forgive me for doing it.
No
So,
worries.
as y'all all know, I'm from Austin, Texas. Southeast Austin girl, Montopolis, 78741. I was an active kid growing up. My mom was in Parks and Recreation, so you either found me at a park, watching her play softball, getting dirty, or just running amok as a kid. Became a realtor later on in life. Worked in state government 15 years. I am a wife. I am a grandmother of a beautiful granddaughter. I'm a fur mama. I'm a coffee drinker, and I see my grandma every Sunday I don't know what you want to say. I
Granddaughter.
would was like a good girl. Go see grandma, and she has a good breakfast. So I mean, homemade breakfast every Sunday is not a bad gig, right?
Tacos.
That's about me. That's all I got.
And also, so Melissa and I are both from Montopolis, and we didn't know each other back in the day. We're both native Austinites, and we're both from Montopolis. Literally, I want to say we were like maybe the street. I lived on
You
Marigold,
live
right?
one block over from me.
One block over. Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. And here we are. We're like friends. We're besties, and we're doing these live streams here together. So it's just amazing to me what a small world it is. But yes, I'm Liza Brazel. If you guys didn't already know, and if y'all didn't see my little tagline, I put that realtor lady because I wasn't sure what to put. I was like, I'm gonna put that realtor lady because I'm a little bit expressive. I'm weird. I'm quirky, but I love it because I want to bring that energy to you guys. Now, I've also been in real estate for about 10 years. And let me see, did I do my math right? 2013. Yeah, 10 years. So, and I primarily focus in the residential sector, but that's enough about me, guys. I'm so excited to bring Sandy on board. And I don't think,
Yay!
you know what? I'm not even going to tell you about him. I'm going to let him tell you about him because he has such a smooth voice. Introduce himself.
You're on the spot, Sandy.
Go ahead. Bring it, Sandy.
Oh, I was hoping you would do the introduction. There's nothing I enjoy about talking about myself. But first of all, thank you very much. I think it's very cool that you guys are doing this. And I think it's a shame that it's been a year since you've done it. You need
Yes.
to commit and be more consistent because you guys definitely have a fun vibe going with this and you can watch it grow a lot. And you've got your coffee there. You're ready to go from your home. Can I just tell everybody first? I am in Omaha, Nebraska right now, and I am in my childhood as a kid, her bedroom at my parents' house. Um, my childhood bedroom is right across the hall,
Oh, that's
but this room was better to do this on. I'm just visiting my parents. I got here on Sunday and I'm going back on Thursday, and I just came up for a quick visit, and so that's why I'm in a room that looks like it hasn't been updated since the 1990s. But
I love it.
some of you may remember me from the radio for many years. There was the JB and Sandy show on Mix 94.7. JB and I did that show for 18 years together,
Wow.
and we did a lot of good stuff. The thing that people most remember us for is Bikes for Kids, which was a annual project that we took on where we gave away, oh gosh, over the years, 20,000 bicycles and helmets and locks to kids all over Central Texas that probably wouldn't get a brand new bike anytime in their life. So we thought every kid should have that experience of getting a brand new bike every year. So that's what we did. I've since, JB and I are still friends. That's the first thing everybody asks. Are you and JB still friends? Of course we're still friends.
For 18 years you've done that show, so why
Right. Exactly. I am doing a show now on 103.1, Austin's 80 station. You can listen on the radio. You can listen on the iHeartRadio app. which is probably your best way to listen, is on the app. The signal is not real strong, but so much of media now is consumed digitally. It's not that big of a leap to ask people to open up the iHeartRadio app and listen to it that way. It's pretty amazing how quickly, how much COVID accelerated the digital world. Especially look at doing this. Would you guys even thought of doing this before COVID?
No.
Right.
It's amazing how much, how do I put it? You try to come up with ways of how to connect with people and stay connected. And a lot of it now we do it this way, right?
Right.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's pushed us to do this all in the span of 2 years, in the past 2 years. So yeah,
right.
I agree
It really accelerated things. So here we are. I'm a guest on your show. I think we're going to talk about old school Austin. I should tell you this. My wife is like you guys, is from here. I mean,
She's
her whole life. Yeah. She's and driving around Austin with her, it's kind of fun because she's your own little Austin historical tour guide, because she'll be driving around. She'll be like, yeah, that used to be a bowling alley, and that used to be a drive-in movie theater, and that used to be a grocery store, and that used to be where Mr. Smith sold his peaches. You know what I mean? Just things like that. And it's and she's lived all over the city, so it's fun. It's like driving around with Cactus Pryor and getting a history of Austin.
You've been here for 30 years, so you've seen a lot of it change as well. But okay, so my husband, Gen X, he's Gen X, and he grew up mostly in Liberty Hill.
You're outnumbered, Liza.
Where are the millennials at? All right, I'm a millennial, but anyways, he's Gen X, and he always talks about old Austin. He was like, man, it used to be great. Yeah. And he would always tell me too, he's like, I remember 183 had a traffic light, like where it's now highway, there is no traffic lights. And I remember it was like a 1 lane or 2 lane. And I'm like, well, that was like when I was little, you know what I mean? So I have like a different perspective, but I've also seen much, because as a native, we've also seen a lot more change, especially in East Austin.
Yeah.
So I don't know what your perspective is on that, or what you guys have, what memories you have that you want to talk about.
Well, first off, I want to say it's not all, and Sandy and Liza will remember, and I was laughing with Liza about this when we were coming up with the concept for this, kickback, welcome back, YouTube live. It was not just 183. No. It was Ed Bluestein.
Yep.
It was Research Boulevard. Mm-hmm. And I get that from a lot of people who move to Austin. They're like, well, and I'm like, just, take 183 North or take Research this way. And they're like, well, I don't understand. Like, is it Research? Is it 183? Is it Ed Bluestein? I was like, it's all of them. It all is. Of them. So then you say, what other highway systems have multiple names? What other streets have multiple names? So I can think of a few. I'm pretty sure you can too, Sandy.
Did you already say Ben White, 71 and Ben White? No, you know what? I don't think anybody uses Ben White anymore, right? Do y'all use
right.
No, because now I used to use Ben White, not anymore. I say 71. Yeah.
The king of them all is 2222.
Yes.
2222 turns into Koenig.
Koenig,
right?
Yeah.
And then it's also, and 2222's real name is something, Bullock. I can't remember what the name of, like the official name of it is, but it changes, I think, 3 different times as you head east towards I-35.
Yes.
On 2222. I always get so confused in that area, like where, remember that Honda dealership that used to be over there off of Koenig?
It's now Ford.
Yeah.
Is it Ford now?
Yeah, it's Leif Johnson.
Leif Johnson.
See, but I remember I've always been more of a like a Northwest Austin. When I moved here, that's where I ended up, like in the Arboretum area. Yeah. And but I remember Texas Instruments on 183. That was the end of the world. I mean, that was. I mean, there was nothing.
The highway
there.
stopped.
I mean, yeah, and if you went to Balcones Country Club up that direction, I mean, you were out in the sticks. I mean, and that's the thing, we like to think that Austin's this big metropolis, this big city, right? And it is.
Yeah.
It is. But you make a wrong left turn in Austin, you're in the country.
Yeah, you're in the country.
And it doesn't take long to be like stereotypical Texas. You know what I mean? If you make a wrong turn in Austin. But you're right, the city has changed a lot. East Austin has changed a lot, and it's inevitable. Cities are going to change. They're going
and
to, especially good
South
ones.
Austin too.
South
Oh
Austin.
yeah.
So I didn't know this, right? Because this was, again, I'm a millennial, all right? But my
You
husband
need to stop bragging about that.
I know. She's making me feel old, man.
oh my God. But when he tells me, he was like, yeah, I remember I went to a Metallica concert at South Park Meadows, right? When it was a meadow. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they used to have concerts out there.
My time. Did y'all go to any events at that time or?
Oh yeah, I saw the Horde Festival, which
What?
was there, which I saw Blues Traveler there. I saw Jimmy Buffett there. I saw Hootie and the Blowfish there. Who else did I see? I don't think I saw. I can't remember any others. What about you, Melissa? Did you see some of those?
Yeah, I think I only went to a couple concerts there. Most of the stuff I went to were at the back room.
Oh,
Rock show. Like, we're getting old now, huh?
No, we're
I know,
getting
I
real.
know who you are
old.
now. Now I know a lot about you, Melissa. All right, now I know what I'm dealing with.
When I was a kid, it was, I mean, it's now Lady Bird Lake. It's always been Town Lake to me, always
Right.
has and always will be. But when I was a kid, we were doing like Gloria Stefan and the Jets at the Austin Aqua Festival on Town Lake, and the Austin Aqua Festival, any Austin native will tell you that. I mean, we used to collect these little skipper pins, and it was just a good time. And they used to have this river raft festival, and I'll never forget it. I wish I would have given you the picture, Liza, to pull up on the screen, but it's me like at 8 or 9 or 10 years old. I don't know.
Oh,
But
that would have been
my
awesome.
uncles, they got the tubes, like, the tubes you do down the Guadalupe River, and they tied them all together and they put the raft stuff on top. Like they really screwed up and they sank in the town lake. It's hilarious. But I mean, that's how old I can think back. I mean, I don't want to call myself old, but yeah.
It's funny. A couple of years ago, I guess pre-COVID, my cousin's son, so my second cousin, I guess, he was in Austin doing some stuff with a group of guys. It wasn't a bachelor party, but it was just a crew of guys. And so I met up with them, like, what are you guys doing? They're like, hey man, we're going to a show at Antone's tonight.
Oh.
I was like, you're not really going to Antone's, right? It's not really Antone's. It's not the Stevie Ray Vaughan Antone's that we remember. I remember the one on the drag, and then they moved it over to on 5th Street on the corner there. And now I don't know where Antone's is. I think it's still downtown somewhere, but it's just.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Emo's, right? Emo's moved over to Riverside, right? And Antone stayed, I think, on 5th Street. See, I didn't know it when it was on the drag, so I didn't know that. I think at the time, my husband says he used to go, what is that place called? Is it Spider House?
Spider House Coffee Shop, great coffee shop. Yeah.
That's where he said that's where everybody would hang out, live music. And he says now, I guess the vibe's a bit different. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. He says.
The whole vibe's different. Are you kidding me?
That makes me wonder, and Melissa, you're close enough in age, Liza, but Melissa, a question that I've asked people is, do you guys think that the mid 20s to mid 30-year-olds in Austin, Texas today are having as much fun as we had at that age?
No, even I know that. You know why? You know how I know that? Because I'm like this, looking at my husband, tell me more stories of old Austin. Like, how was it? Like, tell me why. I want to do that too. We didn't really get to experience that. So I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
It was fun.
There was a lot of things we used to do as kids. Like, I mean, it wasn't a scary city. It wasn't a big metro area. There was, honestly, guys, there really wasn't a lot of crime. If you're just new to Austin and, the news stations will sensationalize a lot of things. But, I mean, everybody knew everybody. The mom and pop stores, they knew you or they knew your parents, especially in the neighborhoods, right? So things we used to do in high school, we'd go to the drag, we'd go to UT, we'd go to, you guys probably don't know what this is. Maybe some of you guys out there, we used to go to arcade. They used to have like arcade game.
Hold on a second. Okay, is that place still there at the drag? I think it's an arcade. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
People don't know what that means.
Oh my God.
We need to explain to them what an arcade is.
There was this place called, I think it might have been called the Arcade. I was telling my husband a memory that I had when I was in high school. This is so bad. I'm saying this. So I skipped school we could go to the arcade. We went to the drag to go to the arcade, and it was the best time of my life that I had there. And my husband goes, "Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about." He was like, "I don't know if it's there anymore. I don't think it's there anymore." And I'm like, "Wait, see, because I haven't gone back since, so I don't know what's there." And I didn't even know that was something like a staple at the drag. So I think we're talking about the same thing, Melissa.
Yeah, those are the things we used to do for fun back then. I can't
Liza, I
remember
gotta
the name.
know, how much older is your husband than you?
10.
10.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm going to be 37 in 6 days.
Oh,
Okay.
Liza,
Yeah.
having a birthday.
I'll be 37 and he's 47. So he's a leap
Okay.
year baby. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a big gap there in generations from, yeah.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember when Dan's turned into Fran's. Now it's not
You
even
remember
there
the
anymore.
divorce? Remember the divorce, right?
Yeah, the whole
Well, now
city
you
knew.
say, hey, but now, Melissa, you say Dan turned into Fran means something completely different in this world
Totally.
that we live
Speaking
in.
of, I think Liza's going to tap on that topic later.
Oh my
With your
gosh.
pictures.
I do. I have some if y'all want to play into that game. I have some old pictures. I want to see what they're random Austin pictures.
Mhm.
They could be from the 70s, 80s, 90s, or now. I want to, and I'm either going to ask you, where is this at? And a lot of you guys would know. I mean, you guys have been here long
All
enough.
right, fun.
Might
Let's
know
play.
most of them. So hold on a second. Let me add this to the stage. All right,
That's the drag.
You already knew. Let me ask you, what gave it away?
Co-op outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Potbelly wasn't there. I think that was like some kind of mushroom pizza place.
Yep. And then the little, and looking at the picture, if you go to the right
Yeah.
a little bit is where that little hippie mart is, where
Oh my God.
where you can buy, homemade necklaces and probably
Yeah.
homemade underwear and things made out of
Something.
hemp and bunch of
You
junk.
know what? I'm wondering. So the co-op, I wonder how long that's been there. That's been there a long,
That's been there
long time.
probably since the
And
50s.
I think that's what makes it iconic, and it gives it away instantly where you're at when I show this image.
Mhm.
Let's jump into the next. Hold on a second. All right.
Oh, the back room.
Yeah.
Where is this at?
That's Riverside Drive, baby.
Riverside, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't old enough to go to the back room. So I didn't get to experience it like you guys did if y'all ended up going. But I would hear stories from my brothers. They're like, "Oh man, the back room. Like this is all that was the talk back in the day. That was like the it club to go to." And I don't know.
If you were a rocker, it was.
Yeah.
If you wanted to boogie down, you went next door to Cocktails.
There you go. There you go. Oh, this is fun.
What's replaced the back room now? I don't remember.
It was Emos at once. I don't know what it is now.
Because I thought
Probably some lame coffee shop, or you know what I mean, or hookah bar, or
Yeah.
so knowing today's young people, someplace where they can all go knit together.
Yeah. Sip coffee with the cats.
Yeah, play board games. I'm telling you, this generation are old souls, man. They're old souls.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because there's certain videos I see of things that I didn't even know existed in Austin. And just like what you said, Sandy, I think there is. I'm not sure if it's a bar or a coffee shop. I don't know if it's in Riverside or in downtown Austin, but it's exactly that. It's like a board game. You just go there to play board games. I mean, nothing revolutionary, but it's specific
for a good old game of bridge.
Yeah, just I know.
Let's play some cribbage.
That's crazy. I'm like, wow, people are really looking for experiences now. I guess a lot has changed with how we live and how we go with our day-to-day lives and what we find interesting. But let me go on to the next slide. Hold on a second. All right.
That's South Congress.
Yeah, SoCo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, Freddy's Barbecue.
Yeah.
That's old school.
Very old school. I believe this picture is from the 70s. I think 1979. I think it was when it was taken. And you know what's interesting? I was telling Melissa the other day, what's interesting, and I don't have a picture of the Continental Club, but I don't know if y'all knew this, but the Continental Club used to be a laundromat back in the day. Yeah, yeah. And it's switched over to, I think, a tavern and then a burlesque show kind of place. And then obviously now the lively music scene it is now. And
Holy
yeah,
crap, that's an adult arcade right there on South Congress. Above
wait.
the bar,
Oh,
that's an adult peep show dirty bookstore. Look,
Oh, it does.
oh
25
my gosh.
cents.
Okay. Let
25.
me, now that you
What
mentioned,
stuff are you pulling up here, Liza?
That's a top, look, it's a
hold on a
topless bar
second.
next door.
All right.
Topless and bottomless bar right next
Hold
door.
on. Hold on a second. Y'all, okay.
It says
Hold on a
topless
second.
bottomless.
Hold on a second. There was, okay. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to remember.
Wasn't there a dirty movie place?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
was
I'm talking
down
about.
further
Down.
south.
The red
Yeah.
one.
By Oltorf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's right before Old Torf. So my mom, I remember driving by, and I had no idea. Every time we would drive by South Congress, I'm talking about South Congress, that dirty show place. But she would say, she would be in disgust, and then her Latina self, she'd be like, "Ugh, they used to play dirty movies there," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, really?" And she's like, "Yeah," and I don't know what they do now there. Do y'all know? Because I've
No
never
idea.
been there. But she used to tell me about. I hate saying this about Star Seats too, how it's been there for a long time. And she was like, I never liked their food. I don't want to mention anybody there, but she was like, that place is disgusting. And I'm like, oh, and I used to go there. I think everybody used to go there.
Liza, we've gone there.
We've all been, and I like their food. I haven't been in a while, so I don't know what it's like now, but
I mean, this little section of South Congress looks pretty fun. I mean, you go in here to Freddy's, you get yourself some barbecue, you fill up on it, you just go down 2 doors, and you got your dirty bookstore, and then you got your topless and bottomless bar.
But you got to drop off your couch cushion there to get it reupholstered first.
Yeah, that's probably where the topless bottomless bar took their cushions to get reupholstered.
Oh no!
God.
Wow.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Wow.
I'll go on to the next slide. Let's see. What do we got here? All right. What's
Mount Bunnell.
Mount Bunnell. Oh, I've got a fun fact about Mount Bunnell.
What is it?
Do you know who donated that land to the city for Mount Bunnell?
No.
The Covert family.
What?
Covert Ford?
Yep. The Covert family donated the land that we know as Mount Bunnell. I want to say back in the 1940s. It was probably before the bridge, clearly, because that, but the Covert family donated that land to the city. I'm sure they had something good in it for them, but still, Mount Bunnell, very overrated, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean,
it's iconic if you're not from Austin,
Yeah, I think for folks that are, I guess, visiting, I guess you got to at least go one time. But then it's like it is a bit overcrowded, when you go and whatnot. So I haven't been in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can make it up those steps today. I thought my little oxygen. Few breaks.
Oh my gosh, Melissa, you're so funny. And you know what's crazy about the last time I went to Mount Bunnell, man, people are getting super close off that edge, like sitting down. I'm like, what are you doing?
Doing it for the gram. Doing it for the gram.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, ooh, I can't watch this. So I leave. I'm like, I don't know what people are doing, but yeah, a bit risky there. Let me go on to the next slide. All right.
Leslie, what's up, Leslie?
So a lot of the new folks here that come to Austin, they have no idea. It's kind of sad. They have no idea who Leslie is.
Yeah, Leslie was your neighborhood. He was, I don't know.
He was the welcome committee.
Yeah, the ambassador of Keep It Weird in Austin. And it was so organic for him that he dressed like a woman. You'd see him on 6th and Congress wearing nothing but a thong and a tutu.
Yep.
And pushing his big cart around. Yeah, he was the OG Keep It Weird in Austin. Rip to the Leslie.
OG, yes. OG.
I know nothing of his history. Like, I just knew he was, like you said, he was the welcome committee, but I don't know anything else about him. So sad.
He, I ran into him once, and JB and I got our picture taken with him. I need to dig up that old picture and save it. He was a character, man. And then remember when somebody let him live in their big giant house in Westlake?
I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. I think he did it just to annoy their neighbors. He let them live there all summer while they were at their place in Colorado.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
that is
pretty funny.
Didn't he run? I don't know if it was for mayor or Right? I mean, it's just crazy, but I think a lot of people loved him for that. He just had the balls to do things that others wouldn't dare. You know what I mean?
I wish he'd have won.
Yeah, that'd have been fun.
I have first met Leslie. I don't know if y'all remember it. You guys are, I know you guys probably aren't vegetarian, but I used to go to this what is it called? Bowden Creek restaurant.
Cafe.
It's the old one. That was you know, I think it was like a pier and beam house. It was like an old shack looking place, but it was the old Bowden Creek we would go to. And Leslie would frequent that place quite often, that he would just randomly, I mean, we're just there chilling and he would just sit down next to us and we're like, hey, Leslie, like, hey. And we just start talking and he's just carrying on a good old conversation like he's known you forever.
Yep.
And I remember the first time I met him, like, I didn't know of Leslie because I wouldn't go, I really wouldn't go place. It was like me discovering Austin, right? Being a tourist in my own city. And I'm talking about, I was in my early 20s and it was an awesome time. And I loved Leslie since then. So it's he's an iconic figure for sure. So I'm surprised that a lot of people know.
Statue.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
he does get a statue. It's like, oh my gosh, come on. Leslie, iconic. So let me go on to the next slide here. Let me see what I got next. All right.
That's a boat ramp.
Festival Beach, Chicano Park.
Yes.
Chicano Park. Yeah.
Yes. Melissa, you have any memories there?
Yeah, lowriders.
That's a term you don't hear a lot, Chicano, anymore.
Yeah.
Or am I just where I live? I don't hear it.
No, you don't hear it a lot.
No, you don't.
This is what I used to do on Sundays to piss my mom off. I'd go to look at all the lowrider cars and where were you? I was over at Chicano Park.
Those cars, though, are cool. I mean, it's not my thing, but I have a lot of respect for what the people do with those cars. It takes a lot of work and a lot of art to make those. I think it's pretty cool. I like the ones that bounce up and down.
Yeah, full on commitment.
Yeah. Of all the things, of all the things you could be interested in the world, your thing is to make your car bounce up and down. Okay, whatever.
Classic old cars, bouncing, booming music.
Mm-hmm.
Good old days. Yep.
Good old days. Let me see if I have something else. Hold on a second. Where is this at?
What is
That's
that?
Is that 6th Street?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, that's on the south side of 6th Street, I believe. No, is that the Ritz or is that is 6th, right?
Yeah, this is 6th Street. So they have it labeled as Pecan.
Yeah.
Pecan
That was the
Street.
original.
But yeah, 6th Street. Yeah. And which goes on with the name changes, right, Melissa?
Pecan Street Festival makes sense now.
Pecan Street Festival. But yeah, it's 6th Street. And same with like Cesar Chavez and 1st Street, all these, names.
Yeah, it's always 1st Street to me.
Yeah.
And they changed it to Cesar Chavez.
Right. I'm trying to, what's in my mind, I'm like, what is there now?
I'm trying to remember what took its place. I don't remember because it's kind of confusing. A lot of the buildings kind of look the same.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's in its place now. But I don't know. I don't think this is the Alamo now. Alamo Draft House.
Would this be on the other side?
Yeah, I think that's
where the library is. That bar of the library.
That's on the north side of 6th. To me, it looks like where the drugstore is here, and it may be just because of the sign. I immediately think of the Ritz.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
But which is now Joe Rogan's comedy club, the Mothership.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This is fun. And I'm real good at it too. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. I think this is the last one.
So these are the green parakeets that are all over.
What?
Yeah, they're everywhere. When I was a kid, I just remember being at the softball field with my mom, and I'd be like, "What are these green parakeets?" And she's like, "I don't know. Somebody dumped them off in the '70s. They've been here ever since." So that you'll find them all like Butler Park, Lamar, Barton Springs area, Riverside, and I mean they're. I mean, you just see droves of them flying around Austin.
I had no idea. First I've ever heard of the green parakeets in Austin.
They're called the monk parakeets. Look up monk parakeets Austin, and you'll find a whole blurb.
Right
And
on.
I've seen them. I think as far as north, do y'all know Jerry's? What is it called? Jerry's Artorama. right
Yeah.
there in kind
290.
of like northeast Austin area. So I remember in the parking lot, there was like, I'm not kidding, it was just strange to see. There was maybe 5 or 7 of them kind of grouped together. They were just hanging out, chilling out. And I'm like, what? Did someone lose their birds? Like, I'm looking around, and I had no idea until you mentioned this, Melissa, that this was a thing that someone dumped all these birdies in the 70s, and then they've been here, I guess, reproducing and taking over Austin. So I had no idea about that, but I just wanted to play that game to see what you guys knew, if that brought any memories, good memories of old Austin.
Something about old Austin too. Have you guys heard of the Sign Bar?
Yeah, it's right in here in Manor.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. My friend Matt Lucky is the guy that opened that. And basically what he's been doing over the years, for those of you that don't know, he's been collecting signs from bars, restaurants, kind of famous locations throughout Austin, the signs that were outside of their door. He's been collecting them for years, and he's turned it into a bar and restaurant. Yeah. And it's a great trip down memory lane, and really good for social media. Social media loves it.
Oh, TikTok, the TikToks love the sign bar. So if you see my little tagline here is East of Weird. So obviously from East Austin, but I live in Manor now, so I kind of focus on all things East of Weird. And the sign bar is on my list for a video tour.
Yeah, so, very cool. Very cool.
Is Maria's Tacos the one that goes?
She's like, there.
Is she
got
there?
It. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
she's a kook.
So I'm a little bit sad. This is just me. Do y'all remember the Genie Car Wash on William Cannon? Mm-hmm. So that's been there forever. I was telling my husband, we're subscribed now because they recently had a name changer and ownership. So it's not the Genie Car Wash anymore. So I don't know if the sign bar will take that old sign from Genie Car Wash, or do they already have it? Because
I think they already have one.
Okay, they already have one.
There's more than one location. Yeah.
Even now, I'm like, okay, now Genie Car Wash, it's gone. It's no longer there in William Cannon. That's been there forever. I was telling my husband, he's like, what's the big deal? And I'm like, you have no idea. When I was a kid, that was there.
Did you guys ever have a birthday party at Peter Pan, or go to Peter Pan?
I did.
I remember the Peter Pan on William Cannon. Are you talking about the one on William Cannon? I don't even know.
Barton Springs.
Oh, Barton Springs. No.
You don't see the big Peter Pan guy out there?
Yeah. Well, I never had a birthday party there. I've been there, but I've never had a birthday party there.
The that property is in kind of limbo right now. There's one person that's in control of the trust of the ownership of that land, and it hasn't happened yet. But they're going to have to decide whether that land's going to remain Peter Pan or if it's going to go away. The McDonald's right next to it is gone.
Yeah.
But I think it would be that there's two things in Austin that I get fired up about, that them going away. So much of Austin, old Austin's already gone away. One is Peter Pan.
Yeah.
The other is really personal to me, is Dirty Martin's hamburgers on the drag. They're talking about.
Wait, they're going away?
They're talking about using eminent domain to take the property and land from them, so they can run a light rail track, which nobody's going to use, through that piece of property, and for a rail system to go through there. So there's a movement to save dirties. It almost needs the distinction like that old honky tonk on South, what's the name? Broken Spoke. Yeah, it got a historical designation, so they can't do anything to it. Dirties needs the same thing.
It needs the same thing. I love that place.
So do I.
Yeah, I love. Man, we go there. What is my husband? He gets the creamsicle shake.
The shakes are good. Yeah,
shakes are super good. Yeah, he loves that place. Man, we would go there when we used to live downtown. We would go there a lot. We would actually ride our bikes and go all the way down. Oops, my light died. But yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't
know that either.
I've made it a point over the last few years. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I've made it a point to take her to some of these iconic Austin places and get her and take a picture there. Because when she's older, they won't be there, and she'll be able to have those photos in front of Dirty Martin's, in front of Peter Pan, in front of Now's Pharmacy, which is gone.
That's so sad too. Off of Enfield, you're talking about the one,
yeah.
Oh my
Hutt's
God.
Hamburgers, all those places, and she'll have photos from her childhood of
I need to get pictures with my granddaughter. That's such a good idea, Sandy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to get on it. Just take a day and cruise around and take photos and have those because they'll be so happy when they're
Yeah.
adults. I'm like the family archivist.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
I'm the one that has all the photos organized from Christmases and holidays and
Aw,
birthdays and all that stuff. My wife makes fun of me because I spend a lot of time doing it, but I know someday that's going to pay off. So it's going to make
Yeah.
somebody happy.
absolutely.
You're
I
a
love
bona
that
fide
idea.
scrapbooker.
Huh?
What?
You're a bona fide scrapbooker.
I'm a digital scrapbooker.
Digital
Yeah. I
scrapbooker.
like to say archivist. I think it sounds better.
It's
Oh my,
fancier.
yeah. So like Top Notch is still around. So
Hmm.
we often go to the one, and it's weird because as a vegetarian, I'll get like their veggie burger. But my husband and my son love Top Notch. They love going there, and I think didn't they open up a new place? It wasn't even in Austin, I don't think. When I
They
was driving,
may have.
I was like, wait a minute, there's a Top Notch. I don't even remember. I need to look it up and I'll tell you guys where it's at. But yeah, they're opening up or they have already opened up a new place, Top Notch Burgers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, such an iconic place. I'm trying to think of other places
They
that.
better not close Conan's. That's going to piss me off.
Oh, are you talking about the one off of Burnett where that
I still
karaoke?
go to that one.
Or that carnivore
That's a
pizza.
karaoke place.
Yeah, omnivore, carnivore, man.
Man,
Good stuff.
that's some
You
good
love
pie.
that place.
How
I know
about
you love
what
that
about
place.
Mr. Gaddy's making a comeback?
I know.
I love okay. I love Mr. Gaddy's.
Mm,
I know
yeah.
that pizza taste. I don't know what it is, but it brings back. I love eating it because it brings back old memories.
Just like my wife.
Yeah,
It take because it went away for years.
it did.
And it's back and it tastes exactly the same as it did years ago. And
On
the
the
jingle,
side.
all right, who remembers the jingle? Dial 459
22,
222
And get a biscuit
Yeah.
Daddy pizza delivered.
delivered.
Yeah, that's
Grilled
effective.
cheese.
That's
No,
boy,
no.
how effective was that ad campaign?
Very, very
I
effective.
mean,
Yeah.
that worked. That
Speaking of
worked.
phone numbers, nobody remembers phone numbers anymore. I used to memorize all the phone numbers.
I bet you remember the phone number from your childhood.
385
I think my
0086.
I think
389 0086.
so. Montopolis. I think at the time, Melissa, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't it? That wasn't what? Didn't a lot of folks there have the 385? Right, because I
385
remember
or 389.
my phone number was 385, and the only reason I remember that is because at the time when I was in middle school or high school, there was a boy in the neighborhood that wanted my number, and I didn't want to give him my number because my mom was strict, and he goes, all right, I'll make a deal with you, just give me the last four. And like a dumb person, I gave him the last four of my number, and he was like, all right, now I know your full number. And I'm like, what do you mean? How do you know? And I didn't realize that at the time there was the 385 was very common in Montopolis. So
It's funny. Little boys, we were crafty when we were young, and
Yeah.
my wife always tells a great story. She kind of grew up in Travis Heights, near Zilker and that area, or Barton Hills, not Travis Heights, Barton Hills. And she always tells a story of being down at Barton Springs, not at the pool, but kind of where you get on and off the train. And there was some boy that tried to pull the "I'll show you mine if you show me yours" trick on him, and he showed her his, and she was like, I'm out of here.
Not today, Satan.
Yeah, right. So
That's funny.
But did you guys ride the train? Melissa, you said you have a granddaughter. Have you taken her to ride the
I haven't.
The train's been broken down for years. The
Has
Zephyr.
it?
Yeah.
Has it
it's
really?
Zephyr.
Wow. Maybe I haven't noticed because my son's 12
didn't know
now,
that.
so he's not really into that anymore. But we used to take him all the time. All the
Yeah.
time.
That's a rite of passage for an Austinite.
Yeah, for sure.
That
You
and when
go.
you're like you guys are from close to this neighborhood, when you first moved to Austin from out of college or whatever, you're in your 20s or whatever, if you didn't grow up here. Used to be, man, you broke your teeth in Austin on Riverside, on East Riverside, right?
Yeah.
That's where you could get a place to live. And then from there, you kind of spread out. But that was where everybody that was just getting started, man, where now these kids just getting started, hell, they're living in condos in downtown Austin that are $1 billion. I'm like, you're missing out.
Yeah, they don't know what it's like to.
There's nothing better in Austin for a short period of time than being poor.
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
you figure some shit out.
Absolutely.
You do. And
Nothing like schlumming it on Wickersham or Old Torf with your 500 a month rent,
right.
$500 a month rent.
Or there was a Green Pastures was a place down on Old Torf, man. It was a apartment complex that a producer of mine, his name was Funky. He lived there and he was a funny guy. And he was like, no, I feel real safe, man, at my place. There's cops around all the time. Like,
Okay.
well, there's a reason the
Yeah.
cops are around all the time there, Funky, you know?
Oh my
So
gosh, that is so cute. That's like a different perspective. Oh man, there's cops here. They must be safe. It's fine.
he was
That
one of
was
those
like,
bright-eyed guys, total optimist, didn't see anything bad in the world. You know, he was
good
just
for
that guy.
him.
Good
Good
dude.
for him. I would be, I'd freak out. When everything was taking a turn, gentrification, whatever you want to call it, in East Austin, and I'd be like, boy, these some brave souls. They're like riding a bike at 10 p.m. and this is before things really like commercialized.
Mm-hmm.
And they just were renting these houses, and I'm like, just going for a jog, on a Friday night.
Bro, how about I get in trouble on the radio every time I bring this up, but I don't care because it's the truth. Because they're 12th and Chacon, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
you went to 12th and Chacon for two things, and both of them were illegal.
Yeah.
Now
You don't go there.
right. You didn't go over there. But now it's completely changed. And people jump all over me when I bring that up, but it's the truth. It is the truth.
It is.
So,
It's changed so much. Yeah,
Mhm.
nobody would go over there, specifically at certain times too. I mean, it was dangerous.
Yeah.
And
There
now
was
it's amazing. I'm like, whoa, like this is the it spot now. You know what I mean? It's I'm still
pretty
shocked.
gnarly.
Yeah.
And they got rid of Graffiti Park. I'm like, how are you going to relocate it? You can't relocate Graffiti Park.
No.
What?
Yeah.
there was Matt's El Rancho, right?
Yes.
Matt started out back in the 50s in that 12th and Chacon neighborhood in East Austin selling tamales, pushing a cart and selling tamales. Yeah, that's how he started out. Then he had a little restaurant over there that had like 40 people, and they kept growing and growing, and now they're in their current location and they can serve over 500. So it's a great story of hard work.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Definitely.
Speaking of restaurants that haven't moved, and I just hope they don't go anywhere because I love their tacos, is Joe's Bakery.
Oh,
it's like, thank God for Joe's Bakery.
Yeah, I love Joe's Bakery.
I wish I had it with me right now. I've got a piece of art that is it's Austin Tex-Mex, and it's all of the all of them kind of jammed together, and it's got like Rosie's, and it's got Güeros, and it's got enchiladas y mas and Cisco's, and all of them kind of and I had it framed. I mean, it's a poster, you know what I mean?
That's
and
cool.
I spent like $500 getting it framed. But it's something I'll never. And I got this really cool gold kind of gaudy frame that goes.
I gotta see this, Sandy. You're gonna have to, when you get back home. Will you take a picture and send it to us? Because that already sounds awesome. That sounds very Austin, by the way.
It's very cool. Very, very cool.
Fun fact on enchiladas.
Can I mention my loan business?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about that, because I wanted to know a bit more about how you went from your radio days and then also into your business now. And then I think it would be fantastic for folks to hear and know about that story.
It's a pretty good story. So my radio show now is not only on in Austin on 103.1, but we're on 23 other cities all across the country. I am a contract worker for all of these radio stations. It's a syndicated show. But when I first started out, I was doing the show out of my closet at home. I didn't want to spend the money for a studio. I didn't want to do it. And I was doing a podcast called My Next Person Needs an Introduction. And it was about people who I found very interesting. I didn't care. I was just kind of doing it to learn how to do it. And I did one with a guy by the name of David McMillan. And if you're in the mortgage business in Austin, or you're in the real estate business, you probably heard that name because David's been doing loans in Austin for 33 years. And he's got a great story, an amazing story of where he was in his life to where he is now. And he and I started talking. He's like, man, I've got plenty of room in my mortgage office. Why don't you come up, build your studio in the office, and you can produce a podcast for me. I'll hire you at minimum wage, pay health benefits, that type of stuff until you get up and going. I'm like, well, it sounds good to me. So I'm in this mortgage office and doing my radio show and podcasts and stuff. And I'm looking around, meeting some of the people that work here. And I'm like, these people are making some bank doing mortgages, right? I'm like, how hard can this be? And it is hard. But then so from there, I realized, it's always good to have some people say it's not good to have a plan B. I disagree. I think it's always good to have something to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
So I studied real hard and I got my mortgage loan officer's license. And now I'm still in the mortgage office and I'm still trying to help people get financed to buy a home. And so I do the radio show and I do the mortgage stuff.
Nice.
So it's people like Melissa and Liza that I want to do business with, be teammates, be partners with to help you grow your business and grow my business. So
It's like a team. Just
correct.
like a team.
Exactly. And Liza, by the way, the videos that I did with you,
Uh-huh.
thousands and thousands of views.
Oh my goodness. I know. I saw that. I was like, oh my God. And I want to say, I know, isn't that crazy? I love that. You did such a great job with them and highlighting certain parts, like the queen. I did this. I was like, I love patience.
Right. The queen of patience. Melissa, I'd love to have you on. We'll do some stuff.
That would be fun.
And I push it out on social media and get it I see a lot of real estate agents that do videos and posts that get like 8 views. And I'm like, can I help you with that?
Let me help her.
Please
let me help me help you.
Right.
Help me.
Exactly. So yeah, so the radio show and the mortgage business, and I'm busy. So
I bet.
That is so neat. I love that.
Sandy, how can folks and this is something like when we end the live stream, I will add in the description of the video your contact information if you're okay with that. How do you want folks that are interested in maybe that want to buy a home and they're kind of curious, like, do I even qualify? Like, how can they contact you?
So the best 2 things that I'd like to mention is, one, the person that you just mentioned, the person that's looking to buy a home and needs to get pre-approved. You can reach me. My email is probably the best. Sandy, SANDY, .McIlree, MCILREE at apmortgage.com. Also, if you're a real estate agent that's watching this and you would like some help with your social media, reach out to me at that email address, and because I've got a way for us to work to truly collaborate. Everyone says collaborate. It's a buzzword, right?
It is. It is.
We can truly collaborate together as a team and get you a whole lot more views and impressions and engagement on your social media. Because to be very honest with you, Liza and Melissa, 90% of real estate agents are doing their social media wrong.
Oh, I know. Isn't that crazy?
You're spending so much time on this, building your content, shooting, editing, everything, and you're not optimizing it correctly. It's never going to stand a chance unless you do it right. So I know how to do it right. If you're not using YouTube Shorts, you are crazy, because you should be.
And that's where it's at. Yeah.
Because guess who owns YouTube? Google.
Yep.
Right. So if you get a search query, what's Google going to send you to? YouTube. Right. So you make that just like you do an Instagram Reel or a TikTok, but you put it on YouTube Shorts, optimized correctly with the right parts. I'm using a lot of artificial intelligence to do this with.
It's fantastic.
And it's, as you said, with the results speak for themselves with Liza. I mean, I think the last I looked, you were at 8,000 or 9,000 views in 10 days. Gosh.
It's amazing.
So cool.
You're able to bring that. You have that, you have that community and that reach, that social reach that people want. And obviously, people love working with you, Sandy. You know what I mean? So this is why I wanted to have you on here, because I think on top of us talking about Austin, right? All things old Austin. I think I want people to see how we're human beings. It's not just about real estate. We can carry on a great conversation. You get to know us on a deeper level. And you, in a weird way, I think a person can assess, you know what? this is awesome. I got to see something cool stuff here, and I would really love to work with Sandy, or I would really love
Love
to
it.
work with Melissa. You know what I mean? We get to see, y'all get to see us. This is us, real raw, on YouTube Live, and people would love that. They would love to see
Melissa.
that. So
Hey, Melissa, real quick, two things. First off, your glasses are fire.
Thank you.
aren't they? She's known for that. She's known for that.
I love those. They're great. I wish I had a cool pair like that. I think I would look good in those. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
You should get some red ones, Sandy, and wear them, and then take a picture.
The other thing is, I
kind
want to get together with you, Melissa, and do some social stuff. Make you.
Yeah.
I always use the same saying: "Stick with me, kid. I'll make you an all-star."
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I love everything you're saying, Sandy. Like, you've got the voice. We all know that. But you're a cool guy. You've got great personality, and I do think people will gravitate towards you. And I always like to work with lenders who can have good communication and rapport with my clients. So that speaks to me in a lot of ways. And then in terms of other realtors, hey, look, if Sandy can help you, reach out to him. And as far as the YouTube stuff, like we're doing this live, and like you say, we can repurpose a lot of this conversation into the short reels. And in terms of like what they call the end user or the audience, we're living in a microwave society. People want to press go, press 30 seconds. So those reels, YouTube shorts are gold because it's quick. People can get the content and they get to know a piece of about you. And then it gets them engaging for more. So I love that. I love everything you're saying.
Before we did this, Melissa, you sent me a note that said you listened to JB and I on the radio for years, that we got you through some tough times. What was going on?
I used to laugh. Can we cuss on the YouTube? I used to laugh my off. You guys made me laugh so much. And so, this is back. Everything's an app now. But us old schoolers, you get in your car, you put on your radio, and you take your 30-minute drive to work, because back then it was 30 minutes, not an hour. But you'd listen to the radio getting dressed, you listen to the prank calls and all the fun stuff, and then you get in your car and you listen to JB and Sandy on the way to work. And then so that was like a long time of my like working years when I did that 8 to 5, 15 years behind a cubicle of state government. So man, kudos to all the people like me that you just kind of helped us get through our mornings. It's been awesome.
Well, I hope you'll give the news radio show. My wife is hysterical. She's my new partner.
Oh, nice.
She doesn't know anything about radio, which is great.
Oh, how funny.
So she got no filter and no patience she doesn't suffer fools. Yeah.
Sometimes we need that. You know what I mean? A little bit of
hilarious.
Unfiltered thoughts.
Sometimes I read the news and I'm like, what world am I living in? I mean, what is going on? So it's been fun. It's always fun talking to people that get this city, and we welcome the new people too. That's all.
Yeah, I know. No, bad on the new people. That's so funny.
Right. Liza's a note taker, and here are my notes. I swear to y'all, it literally says, do on one side and a line, do not on the other side, do or do not move to Austin. We can save that for another live, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is so.
Why
funny.
would they want to move here? Why wouldn't they? And I kind of like hey, you don't want to live here. I'm kidding.
You don't want to.
We're full.
You don't want to mingle with us, folks. So.
No vacancy. Okay.
Right. No. And what's the housing market? What do we have? Like 3 months of inventory? Is that what I read?
About 2.5. I want to say of inventory. I think it's nearing the 3 month mark.
Are you guys seeing buyers at all much? Are they still
buyers
waiting?
want a deal. Buyers want a deal of the century.
Sure, they're in a position to get a deal of the century because they are. They're in a great spot to negotiate.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. So with at least me, I'm only one agent out of thousands that are in Austin, but with my listings, the offers that I received, and it's funny because they're under asking because they want a deal, right? Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is that I think enough time has passed for sellers, if you're in the selling position, to realize that it's not realistic anymore to get above asking, right? Depending on where you priced at. So they're willing to consider offers at a reasonable price, right, that are less than asking, and make a decision on it faster than we did experience maybe months ago. They were sitting on it. They're like, wait, what?
Mhm.
What's going on? I'm not getting what I should be getting. You're not marketing it properly, or I'm going to wait till we get another offer just for them to shoot themselves back in the foot. But that's what we're seeing now. I think this has been a learning curve for a lot of sellers. But yeah, I'm still seeing a lot of buyers on the market that they're not willing to pay asking price unless they're getting something out of it. I have one buyer that has paid asking price on a house only because it was already priced well, very well, and that seller was offering incentives, really good incentives.
If you're a buyer and you're on the fence, like there's nothing to wait for. If you now's the time, like Sandy said, and make a deal happen. And if you're a seller, you know, and you want to play with the market, you might find yourself a little disappointed. And just my listings on average are like 25 plus days longer than they have been in the last 4 years. It's kind of embarrassing, but it just has a lot to do with where we're at.
Yeah.
Sellers, listen to your real estate agents. Price it to sell it. Don't price it to hope. Hope's not a strategy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Listen to your real estate agents and do what they suggest, because they do this as a profession, and you're doing it how many times in a lifetime? 3 or 4 at the most, 5. So do what they say, because they know what they're talking. And call me to get pre-approved before you even get in the car with them.
His information's right here. So if you want to hear about old Austin stories, right?
And get a mortgage.
You know what Sandy's going to do? Let me tell you what he's going to do. He's going to say, give me your social, your number, your ID. Give me everything about your life. And then I will tell you all the Austin stories while I'm running the application to get you approved for a home loan.
We are to help out buyers real quick. We are, if you get pre-approved with us, we're immediately taking $2,000 off your closing costs.
Wow, that's awesome.
Ooh, you threw the cherry on top there, Sandy. I didn't expect that. Nice.
We're ready, and we can broker any loan too to definitely get you the lowest rates.
Nice. Ooh, I love this. And you know what, Sandy? I think a big motivator for buyers out there is the interest rates.
Sure.
And that alone, I think, would be a huge incentive. And guys, if you just need to, if you're scared, there's a lot of people that are intimidated about talking about even a home purchase or even applying for a loan. And interest rate is a motivator, which it is. It's like the main talk of the topic, right? It's the topic of the day. Talk to Sandy. Call us or call Sandy, and he'll walk you through it. I mean, you see what a smooth guy he is right now. He's not going to scare you, and he's not going to bite you. So call him, text him, or email him, and he'll definitely help you out. And in exchange, he'll give you some lovely Austin stories that I think you would love to hear from a Gen Xer. That's like the Gen X loan officer.
Melissa, you'll get this. I saw this the other day. It cracked me up. To tell millennials how unengaged our parents were with our life. They used to have to run a thing at 10 o'clock on the television.
Oh my God.
Asked our parents, they would say, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Your children are.
And most of them were like, nope, no idea. They're feral. We were feral is what we were.
Heck yeah. We raised ourselves, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love this. And guys, again, Sandy's information is down here, his email and his phone number for a home loan, for stories, anything, call us. But other than that, we are going to end it. We're approaching an hour. And Sandy, it was lovely having you on here. I'm so glad. I had no idea you were out of town. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you for still joining our live.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Power of technology, man.
Yeah, power of technology to bring this here with Sandy's smooth radio voice. This is awesome. It's the only reason I bought this mic. I was like, he can't one-up me, so I'm going to have to bring this mic so I can be at his level.
I love it. So, do it again. Stay at it, girls. I strongly encourage you to keep doing this.
Thank you, Sandy.
I think it's great what you're doing, and you're both very good at it. So you're not like a lot of it out there that, why would you want to watch this? You guys are very good at it.
Aw, thanks.
Appreciate that.
We keep it real. We keep it real. You know what I mean?
Right.
We keep it real. We keep it weird.
Hey, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
I know. we can
That's
we can
good.
yeah, we can confidently say, you know what, we forgot what we were
Right.
talking about.
Right.
I'm joking, but guys, thank you so much for joining our live stream. Again, we are ATX Homegirls, and our special guest is Sandy McIlree. His email is in the banner below, and also his phone number. That's actually his cell phone number. If you want to text him and blast him, please, by all means, do so. He is not
Mhm.
going to mind,
I don't know.
but not until he comes back on Sunday.
It's on a
He's at
quick
his family's
vacation.
house, all right. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. Again, we go live every third Wednesday of the month at 11 a.m. And we're just going to talk about all things Austin and sprinkle in a little bit of real estate to help our business out there and help other folks as well in the real
Yep.
estate business. But I don't know. Do you guys have any final thoughts or final words?
Just thank you for coming on, Sandy.
You're welcome. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, ladies. Listen to the radio show, 103.1 on the radio, 103.1 Austin's 80 station on the iHeartRadio app. And that's all I got. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to end this stream, guys.